welcome back to another episode of Jeela'S cooking series. Today we're going to be making Persian style spaghetti. It's called macaroni in Farsi, so it's kind of like macaroni, but they just say macaroni for every kind of pasta or spaghetti. But I'm going to show you guys how to do it, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it with crispy potato tatty. For this recipe, you will need some kind of spaghetti. Thin spaghetti, angel hair, you can use, I don't know, like the thicker spaghetti. This is also whole grain. You can honestly choose any kind you want. That's that. And then we have mushrooms here. You'll need tomato sauce or tomato paste. I usually use tomato paste, but we don't have it in the house at the moment, so I'm going with tomato sauce. You'll need an onion. I'm using a medium to smaller size today. You'll need a potato for the tahdig. You'll need pepper, salt, turmeric, some kind of oil, olive oil or canola oil, ground beef, and some kind of pepper. We just have this much of the green one left, and then we have these little colorful ones, so I'm just gonna chop that all up and use it. So those are all the ingredients you'll need. Okay, so fill the pot that you're gonna make the spaghetti in, I would say a little over halfway. Add some oil, add some salt, and then just let it come to a boil. And then while the water's boiling, we're gonna chop everything up. My eyes are currently burning so bad, but for spaghetti recipes, I really like to chop everything as small as possible. So now I'm going to chop up my bell peppers. I've come to learn that when I don't add mushrooms and peppers to my spaghetti recipes, they do not turn out as good as they do with them. So I highly recommend adding them. Okay, so everything is chopped up now, and the water has finished boiling, so I'm going to add the spaghetti to the pot of boiling water. You're going to need a little skillet pan like this. Add some oil to it, and add some oil to this pan. We're going to add the onions. And then to this one, add the chopped peppers. The mushrooms are going to be added to this one as well, but first I like to cook the peppers first and then add the mushrooms because the peppers tend to be a little harder and they cook slower. And the onions are supposed to saute in here. To test to see if your pasta is cooked, you have to throw it to the wall, and if it sticks, that means it's fully cooked. The peppers have been sauteing for about 6 to 7 minutes, and now we're going to add the mushrooms. Add some turmeric to the onions at this point. Okay, I have a lot, so I'm not gonna put all of it. And then continue sauteing the onions for a little bit longer. Add the ground beef to the sauteed onions at this time. Just break it up and stir it all together. The beef and onions are on medium heat right now. Just let it cook for a little bit, but check it like consistently and stir it so it doesn't burn or anything. And the mushrooms and peppers are on high heat right now because when you add the mushrooms after a couple minutes, it starts to produce a lot of water. So you need to keep it on high heat so the water goes away. Now we're going to drain the spaghetti. The beef has completely changed color, but it still needs to cook longer because you need to make sure the beef is cooked fully through. I would say about 10 to 15 minutes. And then we're going to add all the mushrooms and pepper to it. And we're going to add tomato sauce and salt and pepper. Another tip to keep in mind is that whenever you're cooking beef or chicken or any type of meat, make sure to not add salt until it is fully cooked, because if you add salt, for whatever reason, it stops the cooking process of the meat. I don't know why that is, but my mom taught me that, so remember that. Now we're going to add the peppers and mushrooms to the beef. Now time to add the tomato sauce. I like a lot of tomato sauce, and you're supposed to put a few spoons, so. Okay, let's stir it and see if it needs more. Add maybe 2 more spoons. And then at this point, we're supposed to add water to it. Then bring the heat up, and I'm actually going to put all this in it. It doesn't look like it has enough. And just stir it. You don't have to stir it as much as you did when it was like sauteing, but just keep an eye on it and check up on it every few seconds to make sure everything's okay, but it should just cook for a few minutes. At this time, you should also add your salt and your pepper. Now to chop the potatoes. So half of this potato was bad, so I had to cut it off and throw it away. You're supposed to cut them in thin slices because this is going to be laid out at the bottom of the pot. So like that. Okay, so now I'm going to teach you guys how to make potato tahdig. So add a very generous amount of oil to the bottom of the pan, or the pot. I keep saying pan for some reason. The more oil you add to it, the better the tahdig will become. I know it's not healthy, but you only live once. Okay, and then start laying the potatoes out. That's how you start the tahdig, and then we're going to add the spaghetti and the meat that we made all into this. So I'll show you in a second. This is what the final result of the meat mixture with the onions, peppers, mushrooms, and tomato sauce should look like. Take a little bit of spaghetti and evenly distribute it, or try to evenly distribute it on top of the potatoes like that, just a little bit for the first layer. Add some of the meat mixture. And then the next round, add a lot more. So this time, add a nice layer of spaghetti. And then keep repeating that step until you're done with all the spaghetti and meat. spaghetti and the meat on top of the potatoes. And now you just have to cover the pot on the stove and let it cook for about 20 minutes on medium heat. And then I'll show you the final result. I think it's done. It's always really hard to determine if the tahdig is cooked or not, but I think it is. So let's just see. Okay, this is a bigger pot. Pray for me. Okay. Well, that was really heavy and scary, but was successfully done. Here's the final result of my spaghetti and potato tahdig.